You know, I am so fortunate because I get to do this every single year. I get to honor all of these wonderful teachers and just take a moment one evening to thank them for the incredible work that they do. And it's such a rewarding thing to get to do. The State Teacher of the Year works very closely with our office, and so one of the things that we get to watch every year is this journey that they make from being an outstanding teacher to being an advocate for the profession and a representative of our state. And this year has been particularly fun as we've watched that journey of Darbie Valenti, who was last year's Teacher of the Year. So please welcome to the stage last year's Teacher of the Year, Darbie Valenti.
My year serving as the 2017 Missouri Teacher of the Year has been like the Olympics of teaching. And like any Olympian, I've had many endorsements throughout the year. I would first like to thank Boeing, Monsanto, and all the other organizations that lend their support to the Missouri Teacher of the Year program. I would also like to thank DESE, and in particular, Linda Dooling, Paul Katnick, and Commissioner Van Dieven. Thank you for your support this year. I would like to recognize Savannah R3 School District for their endorsement, and this includes the wonderful students and families that I've had both this year and in the past. And of course, I could not forget the endorsement of my family and friends. And I can't imagine as an Olympian what it's like to walk into opening ceremony feeling the pride of representing your country, but I have to think that it's similar to the pride and honor I felt this year representing Missouri and the teachers and students in our great state. As an Olympian of the Teacher Olympics, I participated in many events throughout the year. I participated in the multitasking marathon, which as teachers we train for on a regular basis. I took part in the expense report relay. I still don't have the most impressive time in that event. Just ask Cammie from the Office of Educator Quality. I was honored to compete in cross-country travel, which only helped me get better in the event of speed packing. One event that I was able to medal in was Synchronized Sub Planning. This is similar to synchronized swimming. However, instead of being in the same pool as my partner, there was often hundreds of miles between my partner and I, and we had to stay synchronized. So I'm very thankful for my substitute, Sheila Talmadge, to which I owe my success in that event. And we can't forget one of the most anticipated events of the 2017 Teaching Olympics, the Trump Jump. I'm proud to say that now I'm an official Oval Office Olympian. My final event in the Olympics that won me an unlikely gold medal was the shower event. That's right, the shower event. I can now operate 27 different types of hotel showers. Believe me, I'm adding that one to my resume. So as you can see, it's been an incredible year. And as the year begins to wind down, I seem to be getting the same question over and over again. Got it several times this evening even. When will you pass the torch to the next Missouri Teacher of the Year? That's a good question to which I have a very unlikely response. You see, I've decided I'm not going to pass the torch. So I'm sure Beth is feeling a little uncomfortable and maybe even a little awkward right now. Linda Dooling probably just put her head down on the table. And before Paul comes and takes the microphone away from me, just hear me out. The reason I'm not passing the torch is because it's not about the torch. It's not the torch that gets passed. It's the flame. It's the fire. In less than 48 hours, the Olympic torch relay will begin. Torchbearers will proudly hoist the torch high above their head and transfer the flame from one torchbearer to another. The flame is symbolic of peace, unity, and friendship. The torch or the flame is revered and respected, and people go to great lengths to make sure that the flame stays lit. that the fire burns on. Each of you here tonight hold a torch. That torch is shining brightly and is fueled by the excellence in education all across our great state. And just like we would elevate that torch above our heads, we need to elevate our profession. We need to shine a light on the great things that are happening in education. It's not a single torch being carried by Beth or myself, but rather it's a series of torches. It is the responsibility of every single educator in this room to keep the flame in the torch lit. You are in this room this evening because you are a teacher leader. You are here because you shine. So I must ask you, what is it that fuels your fire? What fire is it that you would go to great lengths to protect? What fire do you never want to see extinguished? Now, I'm not the only one that participated in events in the Teaching Olympics this year. As I mentioned, we all train for the multitasking marathon on an almost daily basis. Here are some other events that others in the room have participated in. Danny. His event is a cross-country choir. He fuels his fire by creating a sense of community through choir and spreads his passion for music all across the country. Job well done, Danny. Matt. He participates in the Social Justice Slalom, and he's shining a light on social justice and the responsibility that lies in each of us to advance social justice in not only our education system, but in our society as well. Job well done, Matt. Megan. Megan's event is the book biathlon, and she is lighting a love of literature in her middle school library while preparing the next generation of Olympians through the leaders that she trains. Job well done, Megan. Tracy. Tracy is passing the flame from school to the real world in the Real World Relay through the school garden that she helped initiate and the STEM projects that she promotes. Job well done, Tracy. Ed. Now, Ed's not a speed skater. His event is speech skating. Through his training and his speech team, he is an ambassador for literature and the arts. Job well done, Ed. And then there's Beth, our 2018 Missouri Teacher of the Year. Her event is both timely and relevant. She participates in the equity event. And Beth is carrying a torch to ensure equity in her classroom and is using music as an instrument to accomplish that. And although we have great lengths to go to ensure that the flame of equity gets brighter and brighter, I know that's something that Beth will go to great lengths to make sure never gets extinguished. I've never attended a closing ceremony, and in a sense, I suppose that's what this is for me. And just like an Olympian's training goes on long after the games have ended, so will the work that I've began this year. My torch will light the way for districts across Missouri to become trauma-sensitive schools. I will continue to shine a light on the engaging learning experiences that are happening all across Missouri. And lastly, I will be diligent in training the next generation of Olympians to help elevate our profession. I'm comforted by the fact that I'm not alone in this endeavor. Not only will I be accompanied by all the outstanding educators in this room, but also by those at the Department of Secondary and Elementary Education. You see, the torch, or the lamp of education, has been a symbol for the department for over 40 years. The torch has been representative of learning and education. It has been fueled by the desire to guarantee the superior preparation of students in school and in life so that they will graduate ready for success. This help fuels a fire that I know those at DESE will go to great lengths to protect. There are several things that I find fascinating about the Olympic torch relay. The first thing that I find fascinating is that when one flame is transferred from one torch to the other, it's called a kiss. I have kissed a lot of people this year. And of course, I hope those people remember that kiss from years to come. Another thing that intrigues me about the torch relay is that the amount of ground that is covered in a relatively short amount of time. Torch bearers cover thousands of miles as they move throughout their home country. Each of us represent a different region in our state. We can do the same in Missouri. The final fascinating fact is that the flame is always lit from a cauldron in Athens, Greece, and then transported to the host country. Another flame is also lit and transported as well. Just in case anything were to happen, there would always be a way to relight the torch from the mother flame. Desi serves as our mother flame. We have a backup should a problem ever arise. Mia Hamm, Olympian gold medalist, once said, "I am building a fire, and every day I train, I add fuel. At just the right moment, I light the match." Throughout your career, you have been building a fire. You've been gradually adding fuel to it with every day that you've taught. Receiving this recognition has been the match that has caused others to see that fire in you. This is that right moment. So I leave you with 3 final thoughts. Who is it that you want to kiss or spread your message to? What message is your flame symbolic of? And at what lengths will you go to protect your flame? Be diligent to ensure that your flame stays lit and that the fire burns on. Thank you.